Okay, you're welcome back. We have David Brady, we have Senan Connell, The Mill on the Hill, '06. I've got pieces of audio here to refresh the memory, just to get things going.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, so it's '06, All-Ireland semi-final. I had first meeting in the championship for 21 years. So did you know this was going to be spiky? Like, had the league games been spiky, or was there a degree of, geez, we don't have much of a thing going on, Mayo, Dublin? Like, were you expecting, geez, these Mayo lads hate us kind of thing?
That rivalry wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have had, Galway Kerry, when you came out of.
Yeah.
But no, it definitely wasn't there.
No.
But the games were always tight, Dave. They were really tight games
league.
in the league.
Right,
in the
okay.
league, but there was never never an edge.
Okay,
No,
so
no.
1985, the last time in the championship, and then this happened. So we'll set the scene. In the RT studio is the late, great, it's terrible to say late now, Michael Lester, Joe Brolly, Colin O'Rourke. And so at this stage, Mayo are about to run onto the pitch. And as is the grand tradition, O'Rourke is sort of saying, look, Mayo have no chance here, obviously. Do you know what I mean? All the pressure is on Dublin. Here's O'Rourke.
The way that the young lad talked, there is a huge weight of expectancy on the Dublin players. Like, they're nervous, very, very nervous. Yeah. Nobody expects Mayo to do much. Like, the reality is that the vast majority of people going in here today, and a lot of the Mayo people, will be just happy if Mayo put up a good show. Dublin, there's nothing but win, and this weight of expectation can be very demanding on them, because none of these players, apart from Jo, have an All-Ireland, and they're still striving. They're not the finished article by any means.
Is O'Rourke right? Did you feel pressure, win or bust, everything to lose kind of a game?
I think that was always there. I think, Joe, when it goes back to that '95 team that won, and Dublin were always All-Ireland semi, All-Ireland final, and it's such a great team. So I think every year after that there was a weight of expectation. When you put the jersey on, you knew that the supporters expected you to be getting the All-Ireland semi-final, All-Ireland final. So that was always there, and it was something we had to manage. I definitely throughout all my career, it was 98, 97, 98 when I started, that weight of expectation was always there. And I suppose going into that game, because it was an All-Ireland semi-final, and if I could just back reference the province, we had to get a handle on our province first before we could even start competing for All-Irelands. So it took a few years. Under Lions we'd got a Leinster, and then I think we 2-1 under Pillar, and now we're ready to compete and start competing with the top teams. And because it's an All-Ireland semi-final, it brings a lot with it. And you remember, Joe and David, them days, it was a full house every game. So every game is a full house, and so you're managing that sort of expectation. And now it's an All-Ireland semi-final, you're only one step away. You're coming in and you have a bounce from winning Leinster. You've gone straight through, no back doors, no nothing. But it doesn't matter what, and people mightn't understand this or believe this as well, it doesn't matter who or what the opposition was. Your preparation was always, look, everybody's there in an All-Ireland semi-final because they're there on merit.
Yeah.
They won and come through. So come on, Joe.
Yeah. Mayo get their photo taken. And then we'll have a listen.
The Mayo team have gone down to Hill 16.
I see that actually, the Mayo team down.
A very good reception.
This could be interesting in a few minutes' time now when the Dubs come out.
What Mayo need to do here is, because you know that Dublin will come out at this at 100 miles an hour.
Being welcomed by some of the Dub supporters on the hill.
Oh yeah, and this will be...
That's a foolish thing to do. That sort of...
It's an empty gesture.
Yeah, making out as if they are so confident they can go to whichever side. They'd be better off just come up and do their talking once the match starts.
It's a bit like the time Willie Anderson's Ireland went up and stood in front of the All Blacks during the haka and stood right into their faces, and the All Blacks beat them by about 57 points thereafter.
Well, what's going to happen?
These things can be...
what's going to happen now is the Dubs are going to come out. They're going to charge down to Hill 16, and you're going to have a lot of incident.
I think Mickey's calling them away. I think he's calling them out of there.
Yeah. This is actually now, for me, this is deflecting from their own. You should be focused at this stage, not get involved in stuff like this.
So when they say there Mickey is trying to get them out, this is the Mayo manager, Mickey Moran, and the camera is tight on Mickey, and with his two arms he is gesturing, come out. So what are you doing? Get out. So he's like, get to the canal. So
Joe, and now knowing him, knowing him, we know it was him.
We have patient zero here. Like, we know where this started.
Yeah.
I know, poor Mickey.
You blaming Mickey? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, you're in the wrong end.
So what did you do?
So he obviously had no idea you were doing this. Based on his reaction, he is like, get out.
What are you doing? they're supposed to be down the other end.
And at one stage he goes, I think it's to David Heaney, captain. At one stage, Heaney and him are walking away from the goal, and Mickey Moran's like saying a million miles. And Heaney's just like, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But we're not moving.
We're not moving. Yeah. Talk to Brady.
So you're a sub. You're the elder statesman at this stage.
So and then I said to David, leave it with me, because he's a captain. He's
Yeah, of
playing.
course, yeah.
I had got injured coming into the semi-final. I broke metatarsal or something. But I was back, but I was going like, I'm not right, but I'm right to go when the time is. So I said to David Heaney, who was a great captain, he was like very calm, and I said, just leave it with me, because you concentrate. And poor Mickey, he was, and he's a lovely man.
He's a lovely man. He's an absolute gent. The confrontation would not be Mickey.
Or something like that would be absolutely Mensa's sacrosanct. Don't.
Yeah.
But and like we had kind of said, people knew what was happening, so it wasn't any surprise.
So when you say people knew,
so
you and one other, I'd say.
No, because
when did you concoct it? The night before, the week before, the day?
It was kind of the night before. One of the boys
Sitting around the hotel.
One of the boys, yeah.
Who?
Not telling you. So anyway, we're in the team photograph.
But hang on.
Yeah.
When you say one of the boys, you were there when that first conversation happened, I'd say.
I was in the vicinity, as the man says.
Right. And you,
So-
the elder statesman, you said, lads, that's not a good idea. Let's not do that.
So we really said, look, let's get the message out there in the photograph.
Oh, so you didn't tell the whole team until...
Oh no, so you're not going to distract and say, jeez, this, So a lot of them, some of them,
So you and how many knew?
Jesus,
2 or 3?
Yeah, close to it.
So you, Heaney.
So anyway, we're in the team photograph, and we're going, boys, we're going to the left. Boys, we're going to the left. We're warming down the left. Right. So everyone up and go to the left, and you had to kind of shout a little bit, because it's the comes out and blah blah. I remember a guy called Mickey Connery goes, "Oh, fuck's sake, right, there's going to be trouble here." And he was one of the. He goes, "Yes, I'll never forget him." Yeah. But and Mickey and look at you're going, because you're going right. But the ball's in your court now.
Mm. Can I ask why did you think it was a good idea? Genuinely.
Why do we think it was a good idea? And Jesus, I love you, and but no one owns Croke Park.
No one owns the hill.
They've fair bragging rights on it now, in all fairness.
30 of squatters, right?
If we were to go to court, but yeah.
Was it just? Did you feel like we're underdogs? Let's rattle them every way we can.
No, you're going. Look we're out first. We'll dictate.
Yeah, but no, hang on. But there's going to be aggro.
Yeah.
So what you wanted to create the aggro?
Not really. No.
But what did you think was going to happen?
You're going. Yeah, you're going to say right to yourself. You're going to play a bit of mind games here. Yeah.
So it's to mess with their heads.
Well, you're going. Yeah, and it could have backfired, and it could have, should have, did probably. I don't know when you look at the game, but you're in the restroom.
Well, here's Colin O'Rourke then. So you start warming up. By the way, the footage of the Dublin fans, they are.
Oh Jesus!
I know loads of them are just laughing. They just can't wait for Dublin to go out.
It's entertainment.
They were laughing. They just couldn't. The place takes off. So here's Colin O'Rourke as you're warming up in front of the hill.
And okay, people will say, looking at television, Dubs don't own Croke Park, so any team should be entitled to go down. But why stir up a racket before the game? The time to do the talking is when the referee throws in the ball, and there's no point in having unnecessary confrontation before the game starts.
Except, I suppose, Joe, it adds a little bit of drama to the whole thing, doesn't it?
Which is an amazing statement coming from O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Well, I go back.
So Dublin take their time to come out. I don't know if you know that you're meant to get 2 minutes. So you obviously are getting word it's happened. Can you remember anything vividly about being in the tunnel or the dressing room?
Yeah. Now again, it's only through my own eyes, and other lads might have different ideas of what happened. In Croke Park, the changing room, and then you have the warm up area. So that was always the last little bit. We get into our huddle there. It was the last few words from Caffrey. He'd be in the middle, and then we'd have a huddle around. And then I think it was our kit man, Davy Hendricks, I think he opened the door and said, Mayo were going to the hill end, and it was a bit of a just sort of a silence for a couple of seconds, and then Pillar just continued on with his sort of speech as far as I can remember anyway, and he kept talking away when, you know, and there was no big ordeal about it, and I think he sort of might have left it just, well, the players are probably going to do what they're going to do, you know, because you're uber prepared, you're like forensically prepared for your pre-match or warm-up, you know that as well, Dave, every team.
Yeah.
And I suppose the message really from his body language would have been, well, we're still going to do what we do, which is we're going to go to the hill end without actually
saying it,
verbalising it,
right,
yeah,
okay.
you know. So that was the thing when the door opened. It was like, Mayo got to the hill end, and we're like, everyone started looking at each other, going, okay, this should get tasty then, yeah. You know, we're going to run with this. So we finished off, and yeah, there was no one was really looking at each other, because from that point on, you're going into the tunnel and then you're out as a team. The knocking is going on the door, so we might have been late.
We're late.
Were we late? Yeah.
Have a listen, because you can hear. So to say, what the camera's picking up here is he's the blonde hair of Vaughan. He's there with his back. It's almost like you're waiting in the tunnel having a bit of a chat almost, and maybe you weren't.
Do you know? No. Do you know that was Joe? Was Vaughan wouldn't have been starting.
Yeah,
so the subs lined up. The subs
clap you out.
Yeah, exactly, okay. To clap out. That's what happened.
Right.
And then would follow out
right,
after
so
that.
Here it is on TV. Here's Leicester again.
The second team is normally out within 2 minutes of the first team. That's the normal procedure. Now, obviously, that time has passed. So I suspect that Dublin are looking at the situation now before they come out and see what might happen.
They have TVs in their teams.
No, there they are. Look, you see, they're waiting.
What they have done is they send for Boutros Ghali or Kofi Annan, or asked Bertie Ahern to go down there and see would he be able to move the loud players from that area before there's a racket. But it's coming soon.
Yeah, it is.
No, they're going to have to hold. This is like the start of the heavyweight boxing championship, you know, where they're eyeing each other, and the first man to look down, the first man to flinch loses the psychological advantage, you know.
There's the OK Corral here, and Wyatt Earp is on his way out now in a second.
So Dublin go and have their photo taken. The place is just...
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I was getting a little bit worried.
And so first man to break off the team photo is Kieran Whelan.
Yeah.
And then what Dublin do is get in a huddle with Whelan at the front, like a flying V. And there's someone like holding his jersey, like riding him like a horse. They're holding his jersey. So and he's marching, and someone's holding him back. So let's have a listen.
And you know,
there they go.
We're going to see now.
You boys,
they're probably going to link arms and go down is the usual thing here.
A good big long fist fight now.
But they look like a Roman army on the march at the moment, fellas. You know,
that's right. That's right. They're coming down to the hill. Look at this. It's great.
And Kieran Whelan have to be.
Kieran Whelan wants to get moving up. They get going at them.
Look at them. By God, I tell you, this is going to be a good contest.
I think this.
We may hold on to our hats.
The contest may start in the next couple of minutes when they look at things at the moment. Now, will Mayo retreat? Because that would now be the thing to do for me. You haven't made your point. Just
no, I don't think we can give it up now.
They're not doing that.
Well, there you are. If they want to play it being silly buggers, that's what they're going to do.
You've made your bed now, Brady. You've done it now.
My Jesus, there wasn't a duvet for that bed.
But just to cut across, I think that maybe last before we went out was Wheeler or the captain at the time would have said, was Paddy or one of them said, look, we're going to the hill.
Yeah.
And it was just literally, that's the way it was.
You had to go to the hill.
I had to go to the hill. You're not going to the other end.
No.
Because it was free.
Absolutely, yeah. You've never been down, are you joking me? That's like selling us the Bell Mullet for a match.
Yeah. And you would have known they couldn't go to the canal end, Dublin. Too big a kind of psychological edge to hand over. They had to come down to you.
Look, you'd always say, if it was us and the other, you'd lay down a marker as such. Yeah. I remember saying, I said to, and like I'm living in Dublin now, and I've got to know, this man is a good friend of mine. I've got to know a lot.
At that stage is.
Oh, no, I hated his living.
Oh, right,
Will you stop? I didn't. Yeah. I don't know.
He just can't. He's not a little course.
Yeah. But and I've got to know Brian Talty since, and Paul Clark, and Pillar, and and you're going to respect. But I didn't know them then. Of course. But I went over to Brian Talty, and I says, Brian, someone's going to get hurt here now today, and I can guarantee you, it's not going to be me or us.
Yeah.
So you better decide. No, I says, he was putting down coals. I said, F off with them cones. No.
Yeah.
I says, and go up the other end.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I knew I could not stir it, but I knew I could not concentrate on what I needed to do, my warm up and the whole lot.
Yeah.
What are your memories of? So Dublin broke off, and then it's just carnage. There's just balls flying everywhere.
Isn't there, Dave?
No one's warming up, really.
I remember there's probably about 100 people inside the 45. And that go back to that sort of walk. That was a remember a walk down to the hill. That was something that year was. I think management wanted us to do. That was connection with the fans or something like that. So you have to buy.
You were such hype merchants.
Yeah, you have to buy in. You know, you have to. It's entertainment show. No.
To be fair, the march down to the hill was always a great thing, and obviously it was the perfect way to.
Yeah. It got supporters going. There was something a little bit different, that connection.
Do you remember big verbals during the warm up then, or
no?
Did you keep to yourself? And
we absolutely said, look, let's stick to our guns. Let's just do our normal warm up.
Yeah.
Which was literally, and it's so structured. The warm up is so structured. You're a bit of kicking, a bit of loose kicking, and then you're working in twos or threes. And I remember I was working with myself and Alan Brogan worked together. So it was in pairs. It was literally just your 40-yard kick pass. So we always went to the same little patch in Croker. So look, we're going here and we're pinging balls. It was head height, not in there, just head height, pinging balls over and back from 40 yards. It was part of your warm up, and that's what we did. But now there's 10 people in between us. But we just keep going, just keep doing exactly the same thing.
Alan, the little man, even last week we were talking about.
Yeah,
he was practicing his 45s, right? And next thing, as he said himself, there was a bunch of people 10 yards away. He was going straight into the middle of them, and he knocked our dietitian out.
No, it was actually we were kicking across. Yeah, we were kicking across. It was actually we were kicking to each other, and it was just as normal. And I think she just might.
Will you go way out at that? You did not cross. He told me as he goes right into the pack.
His recollection is a little bit skewed there. It's hazy. It's hazy.
He said this last week.
Yeah.
Because there was someone down getting attention. That's who that was.
That was the dietitian.
Well, that was the dietitian.
That was the physio. No, it was the dietitian. Was it? Yeah.
Dietitian. Yeah. She got knocked.
There's about 10 people around her. Like it looks.
Yeah.
Got a good.
Oh, she got a good dunt. Yeah. As the man says, sure, he was only 10 yards away from her. No, there was a group with him. We didn't mean to hit. But it was. And then Pillar.
Well, here's the commentary. Here we go. So, it's the late John Morrison.
Late, Lord rest him. Yeah.
Right, John Morrison. Yeah.
Mickey Moran's right hand man. So you've, and this is not how the camera picks it up, but John Morrison is talking to a few of the Dublin backroom team, and clearly they're saying, "No, you go up. No, you go up." And so Pillar, about 10 metres away, spots it, and this is a member of An Garda Síochána. Can we just say? And so he starts a little trot, and it's shoulder into the back of Morrison. So have a listen.
Oh, and it's starting. That's John Morrison, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah,
in the middle of that there.
John Pillar's just giving him a good shoulder charge.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of afraid to criticise Mickey Moran anymore. I'm worried he'll come up to the box after the game.
Having a word with Paul Caffrey. It's been a tough week for Paul Caffrey. Of course, Colm, his nephew, died suddenly during the week, which obviously is. And John Mahan in the crowd there. John has a smile on his face. He's obviously enjoying some of this. But
the thing is, of course,
this is getting a bit silly. Brian Talty.
It's silly, but
Brian Talty with the glasses there, former Galway player, just obviously trying to separate the Dublin lads from the Mayo lads. Brian has played against Mayo many times, so.
And Brian has had his problems with Dublin.
Of course, the past. Mr. Mullins and
back to 1983.
So that's right.
And I see Kieran Duff there, Kieran, a very quiet, unassuming player, never got into any trouble himself.
Much.
1983 as well.
The lads are taking out everyone.
This is going.
Taking out everyone. The lads are having a ball.
Yeah, the spaces.
We're all culprits.
The first 5 minutes, what happens is you get all these frustrations out of your system in the first 5 minutes, and then the game just goes into its normal pattern. Whether or not it gives them a psychological edge is questionable, but I mean it depends on their own mental strength, I suppose.
Mickey is really wound up, isn't he?
Oh, Mickey's wound up, But I think that a manager would better off go over and sit on the line at this stage. Let the players get on with their business.
It's funny, Caffrey was so calm. Like, that was the thing about it. Would have been, I didn't know any of that happened until later on, maybe weeks later. I saw a clip or something, social media, I don't know, in the infancy, whatever, blah, 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 as much. But that wouldn't have been like him at all. So,
really, right.
And if Andy would have maybe thought Talty, because Talty would have been hot-headed, but...
And what you call, Pillar probably thought or presumed this is something like John had pulled out of the basket. Now, he was loving it. Lord rest him.
John Morrison.
Oh, loving it. He was like...
because that is Morrison. Yeah. We had him. He was down training. He did a few sessions with us in the Fiend as well, and he'd be that type of character.
He was going, whose idea was this?
Yeah.
He was going, brilliant.
Loving it.
And Mickey going, oh, please, and we're going...
Yeah. You can see Mickey, come on.
I said, no, that was then, Mickey, this is...
Well, it cuts to Mayo getting a huddle then.
Yeah.
And So Mickey is still very angry. He can't believe the Egypts have done this, right? And you're doing like a calm down, Mickey. Yeah. Calm down, Mickey. Yeah. And you end up giving a bit of a team talk then.
I did, and the most important thing I could emphasise then is this cannot detract from our football and our plan.
Oh, you're Mr. Mature and Sensible then all of a sudden. It's
yeah.
Lads.
Hold on a minute. The fella starts to row. No, let's calm down
please,
here.
Please. And I begged them not to enter physical contact or physicality interact in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. And
because the referee would have been a red card and all. Yeah. And I says, if we don't enter physical contact and we play a ball, and I said, no, I'm not being disrespectful, but I said, these fucking guys' heads are gone now.
Well, they weren't.
Well, your manager's throwing shoulders.
Yeah, but the manager did, manager. But I remember J.O. now, getting back on that side there, it absolutely did, because we went into the huddle as well, didn't have any effect. Now, again, like Dave, at that time, that was my last year, was back from an operation on the groin, was on the line, and my job when I went there was, this is great, so I just got every Mayo ball, and I booted it. So what I did was, I made a really obvious that the goal is there, and the net, Dave, there as well. So what I did was a Mayo ball, I have two in each hand, so I didn't kick them at the goal, I went to the net, beyond the net, and just booted them into the Hill 16. So it was really obvious, like Packy Bonner style. So then the balls weren't coming back. Obviously, the lads with Mayo ball under the jersey on the hill. So what actually happened was the Mayo lads had no balls. So you went into a huddle then or whatever. But that was only, look, it was sideline stuff as well. Because remember,
that's clever.
I remember J.O. saying to me, look, calm down a little bit there as well. I said, no, I'm just kicking the balls away. Like, he was really just calm though. There's nothing to see. So the lads that were playing were.
To be fair, no, I watched it back and it was less dramatic than I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be more scuffles with the players. There was nothing really.
And I'd say David said the Mayo lads still would have gone on with their warm up as well.
Yeah, and it was the warm up, and we started going over and back. Yeah. And I said, like, if there's anyone in your way, step to his side. Don't do it. Don't plough him. Yeah. And again, I think, and like, we started very well. I think.
Well, this is Mayo scored the first 4 points unanswered.
Right. We were
And Mayo led by at half-time 9-1-5. Dublin did not score their first point until 17 minutes in. Conal Keeney after 17.
That's so
they did actually rattle you.
Yeah.
They did get under your heads.
I would have been happy enough because I was on the bench. So
you were going,
the only happy days I'm on after 30 here.
But like, not to score, you're going.
Yeah.
But it was, what a phenomenal game. Like, that was
for younger people who can't remember, Mayo ahead at half-time. 46 minutes on the clock. Mayo are down by 7 points.
So 46. Yeah.
46 minutes, 7 points down.
Half time, we probably were like wounded animals.
Yeah.
And saying
Mayo led by a point half time.
Yeah.
And then you were down by 7 10 minutes later. And then Andy Moran got a goal to just begin the comeback. Yeah. And obviously it finishes with, I think Brogan makes it level. And then Kieran MacDonald hits an iconic point. It's quintessential MacDonald.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a funny one there. It was like, and we're looking back at that team. You look at the two teams on paper. Like Mayo were a great side. We were sort of coming side with a lot of really good players in it as well. But I often thought about it, and I haven't looked at that game ever, and I never will.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll WhatsApp it.
Yeah. You're all right. Have you deleted? It's an issue, like you're talking about. It was a 7 up. 7 up. Yeah, I do remember this because I was actually warming up to come on and kick out. 7 up. You talk about managing expectation. I think that maybe coming back onto our team was the one thing that we probably didn't manage really well, even though we some great players in that team, was managing momentum to shifts in momentum. We didn't manage them.
Right.
And 7 up in the modern game now with the 2-pointers, different stuff. But 7 up then, Dave, maybe that's a lead you're not giving away, and you're nearly saying, well, they're not cock a hoop here, but look, we're close to 50 minutes. I always come on 50 minutes. You're on, and it's funny. I can still see a kick out. I'm more in front of it. Kick out. I think 2 of our lads remember. I think Whelan, one of the lads, went for it. Shane Ryan had gone back in wing back. You know, he was a midfielder all year. Maybe Shane had got back in wing back. Maybe a little bit was a wing back originally, but was now a midfielder. He's got back in there. So there's a little bit of space around that part. 2 fellas jump for the ball, breaks. Your guys win it into Andy Moran, back of the net, rolls it in. You're down to 4. Kick out point. Kick out point. Now, could be wrong, but they were definitely in the space. So you're gone from 7 to 4 to 3 to 2.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Mayo fans are up to say everything has shifted in the space of minutes. And I remember coming on going, this is going to be so hard to wrestle this back now.
Yeah.
Because the momentum had gone with you then at that stage, Dave. You know what I mean? Whereas we're sort of coasting along, we're at the turn this and managing. And then to manage that momentum for the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it was, 10 minutes, we didn't manage it. You guys were cocking the hoop and were coming. I remember I was on the Gardener was playing, was it? And Paddy was a runner. Ray was at a kicking 3 points off him.
Yeah.
Paddy was a runner, and all of a sudden the cock of the hoop and I'm going, I'm chasing this fella. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I remember, and I just knew the time was right, and so did Mickey, because Wheelo was a great bit of stuff. Jizzy nearly took the head of Ronan McGarity, so he did.
Yeah, we had him in actually last year. You were talking about that.
Yeah,
he was talking about listening to the radio next day.
Yeah,
and there were text messages in saying Kieran Whelan's a thug, and him feeling just as sick as you could feel.
Yeah. I would just stop.
He's so on top of losing, you can imagine, because you're going to ground. You don't want to see anybody.
I remember walking down. I said to Mickey, "Right, let's go, Mickey. You know it's time. I know it's time."
What minute would that have been? Or were you ahead or behind? Or
we're about 7 points down.
Oh right, you came on. So really, the game turned. It's the David Brady game.
The David Brady show.
The mill on the hill.
Yeah. It was experience saying to me, and I got the message down to Clarkey. Clarkey was my
in goals.
Yeah, intuition and played and blah blah. Pocket. So there was a pocket of space as you right in under the Hogan stand, and it was like you think of this ball and I'm pointing him in the air, but he knows pocket.
Yeah.
So just as he takes the third step back, you go bang, go to the right hand side, you win. Not spectacular, nice simple balls. Bang, give it to Dillo to Andy, and goal. And that momentum just built. And like Andy's only a young cub at this time.
Yeah.
And he was like, you nearly see him now, the joy in his face when he scored that goal, and he went, okay, I'm going back to normality. But you had experience from Kevin O'Neill. Kev was
only back in that year. Yeah. He was training with us with Nafina, would you believe? And can like just to back reference him as well. Kevin, he was training with us, and Geezer was training with us, Desi, myself. Yeah, he was unbelievable. We were saying, how has this fella not been playing for Mayo for the last 10 years? A side story, Joe.
Yeah,
go on, Dave. Yeah,
should have been. What a baller and a foot and a peg on him, and it just Dave, just that you started getting the simple balls and regaining possession. And like it's just that again, momentum, like the swings in that game, but it's just 7 down.
But everything was with you then, Dave. The momentum was, I found it hard to even feel the weight of the ball. You know what I mean? It was a wave came.
And you just couldn't get your hands on the ball. That was the thing. But then towards the end, you had a chance from a 45, or was it Alan Brogan or Vaughan?
I don't know, could have been. No, bro, he wouldn't have hit the 45s. He might have drove one into the 10 people before the match. But did Alan
Higgins, he got the rebound. Keith Higgins blocked the second shot at goal.
Okay. Higgins there then, yeah.
He was, yeah.
Young as well then, yeah.
He was whippersnappers, but again, young fellas and that expression and
yeah.
And what about the class of Kieran Mack to hit the point that way to win? It's a joke.
The left-hand side. And at that stage, I still think there was about 3.5 minutes left.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't...
it feels like the winner in the memory.
But it was the winner. And it was... But it was. Oh, yeah. Jesus.
It's unbelievable. When you get outside of the left on the wrong side, coming in like that.
Classy.
Yeah.
All around semi. I can still see him running out. Sorry.
And look, it probably didn't help us then, that whole crescendo and going into a final. But,
big high to come down from.
Did you
give it to the hill at full time?
I'm sure he did. Now come on. He didn't know he was going to be living there.
All I'll say is, and look, this is back 20 years ago this month. It was the first time and last time I've ever had protection or security.
So here we go.
Going out in Dublin. Yeah.
That night, you mean?
That night, yeah.
Who'd you have?
There was 2 fellas that we didn't really know that someone had. We could have got like Jesus. There was a lot of not necessarily from ye.
Yeah, but joking.
Just some randomer. Yeah.
Oh, there was.
Where did you go out that night?
We originally went. And I only know it down. It's like some fella brought us down to a Houston station. So
right.
It was Ryan's.
Ryan's and Park A Street.
It wasn't busy as a GA pub, and I remember us walking in the door and people going, "It's only about an hour and a bit after the game," and they're going, "There's I think we wore our civvies, not our. You don't wear the t-shirts."
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be.
You had the boot cuts on, did you?
I had the brown the boot cuts and the
brown shoes.
The brown shoes.
Gear was ironed at the end of the bag, ready to rock.
The DCs we used to call them.
Yeah.
You had some lovely DCs.
You better believe it.
Yeah. The dancing clothes.
Yeah.
But into Ryan's and and they were going, jeez. But then we were in town.
Yeah.
And
we didn't see. I don't remember seeing you that night. No.
Oh, jeez, we wouldn't be. You'd be going to fancy places.
Oh no, but that now.
You were in Crystal, I'd say.
Yeah, back then. But
no chance.
We did have two fellas just
keeping an eye.
Just keeping an eye, and there was no. Yeah.
Did I hear that there was Connacht against Leinster in the Railway Cup a couple of months later, and it was an interesting kind of a game?
You could have.
Yeah, Jesus, I absolutely got hammered. No, I mean hammered, but I don't. Going back to what you said, it was a tough week for Pillar, right?
I hadn't. His nephew. I mean, look,
I remember.
That's right.
It's tough.
I remember. And you take it. Now this is the mark of a GA man. You take it. All that happened, and that absolute gut wrenching defeat from Pillar's perspective and Dublin's perspective. He still came into the dressing room.
Oh yeah.
That's where you give credit. Came into the dressing room afterwards and was just lovely. And I remember saying to him, very sorry for your loss.
It was great. He was really good at reading the room, and emotionally he was in. He was really good. We talk about the modern game now today in terms of managing the panel of 30. It was really good. We always remember with the 6 or 7 lads that wouldn't make it to the game day match panel, weren't talking out. We'd on a Saturday morning after training, we'd all be sitting around our last little meeting, and he'd call everyone up. The 6 lads that weren't tugging out, they'd be presented with a jersey. Never seen this happen before. They were with their number. Let's say you were Declan O'Malley, you were meant to be playing midfield. There's an 8. Shake the hands. Well done. It was a lovely little touch. He was great at those tiny little touches. And Dave, I remember talking to him on the Sunday night. We went to one of our lads, John Lenny, who wrote the book. You remember? Yeah. John was working behind the bar. Yeah. John was behind the bar in the church, the bottom of Mary Street there. So we went to the range, we went in, just collectively, the whole lot of us together, and a few drinks there. And I remember talking to Pillar, and we were putting things into perspective there as well as a little side story. And he'd said to me, look, there's he says, things happen. He'd obviously, after having a hard week, and he referenced another girl, Ruby Toig for the Leinster final, and it was mad when this for me was okay. We're rather losing a football match here. At the end of the day, it's a football match, and that means an awful lot of people. When we'd won the Leinster final last year, would you believe it, the Leinster Cup, Barry Cats, on the Monday afterwards, we're going into Crumlin with the cup, blah blah blah, which we did, and giving you the fast forward story, and we're just going around with the Leinster Cup. It's all Ireland now, and there was 6 or 7 of us in, and there's a circular area, sort of in Crumlin, and we were moving on. I seen this bed being wheeled out in the corner of my eye, so I just grabbed the cup and I ran over, got a photo with this girl, young teenager in the bed, got a photograph with the cup, blah blah blah, and was chatting away to her dad, but I moved on. And the night before that Mayo game, Dave, I remember lying on the couch in my house, and I got a text to say, it was one of the girls in Crumlin to say she'd passed. Her dad wanted to say it just meant so much that you'd done that with the cup. And the funny was, the next day, Peter wouldn't know the story as well. The next day he said to me, look, he'd his story, and he says, look, there's a young girl there called Ruby Toy, you know what I mean, Dub supporter, blah, 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 after dying. So that puts it, he put it into context for me, really, the way, and we're talking about all them stories. But it was not a great touch from him as well, and,
look at
after real life.
That's Pillar.
You could see when Dublin did get over there in 11, and just in that weird twist of fate, he's working the game.
That's right.
And you could see when the players got round to him, there was a great deal of affection.
Look, again, as we talked at the very start of this programme, you're going legacy and who was there before you and everything else. Well, we went over to Boston playing the Railway Cup that November. John O'Mahony was managing the Connacht team. Pillar was managing the Leinster team. And to say I got 20 shades of shit kicked out of me by the Dublin boys, and I'm going to John, I says, I honestly can't take any more, and they were coming at me left,
from every angle,
right,
well deserved,
and
you're well able for
oh jeez,
you always go for the big lads.
Yeah, but Jesus, I thought I was going to start in the plane, but Yeah.
Well, rightly or wrongly, you were the man to blame for the Mill.
I was.
So they were like,
I
let's
was the
have it.
scapegoat
Yeah.
to a degree, but man above, yeah. Oof.
Did you give Pillar a look as you're coming off, going, thanks for that?
I just knew it was coming anyway. And look at quarter past that night,
Friends.
and we were going, yeah, where are we going next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I knew this would be fun.
Jeez, it is great fun, isn't it?
Years
That's
on,
great,
it's
isn't
good
it?
to talk
Yeah,
about.
it's good to talk about.
And like you're talking about them, like these are like we fought and we now like
That's
from
it.
our
The
like
Yeah,
we're 20 years. We're going back 20 years
yeah,
now.
Yeah, yeah.
having fun and life and
Crack. And it just
living-
feels like we're in the palace having a pint. Yeah, honestly, it does. It's just that
it's
seeing you waxing lyrical was brilliant.
and it's the you mentioned I'm living beside half of the Dublin players now and friends with them and socialising.
Kids are going to be dubs, you know. I know, within reason.
Aye,
half-o.
way out of that. A pleasure.
Yeah, it's class. Thanks again to AIB, to Senan Connell, David Brady, gents.
Thank you.
So fun. Thanks a mil.